In wholesale real estate, list stacking is a technique where you combine two or more distressed seller indicators. Now, combining multiple motivated seller filters in one list, you create a condensed high-quality list. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 best filters to stack. We call this the jackpot list, and I'll also show you how to quickly create your own jackpot list in your market for free, and then how to contact those sellers instantly. All that and more coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's virtual flipper kit with everything you need to flip houses without seeing them in person. Download it now at virtualflipperkit.com.
First of all, it's important to know that there are dozens of lead types that indicate a seller is in distress and might be interested in selling at a discount. Now, your job as a wholesaler is to identify who they are, contact them, have quality conversations about selling their properties, and the #1 site in the country for nationwide free data is Propwire. With over 157 million properties nationwide, you can search and download an unlimited number of leads absolutely for free. Now, to do your first or next search for free, just go to joinpropwire.com. But rather than take a bulk data approach where you get a list of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 or more, and then try and contact those sellers, instead, let's consider a smaller, condensed, but high value list. Let me show you how to do that using my jackpot list. Once you log into Propwire, the first thing you need to do is choose your market. Let's take Tampa, Florida. Now it's time to start building our jackpot list. The first lead that we want to start with is absentee owner because it's a massive list. Take a look. As of this recording, there are over 72,000 properties just in Tampa that are absentee owners. Now, in case you don't know, an absentee owner simply means it's a property that is not the owner's primary residence. It could be that the seller moved to a new home and still owns the old home, but it usually means it's a buy and hold investor, or in other words, a rental property. Now, an absentee owner by itself isn't what I would consider a high intent list, meaning just because someone owns a property that isn't their primary residence doesn't necessarily mean there is distress or motivation to sell it, but it's a start to building our custom stacked jackpot list. And what's really cool about Propwire is all you do to start stacking a list is choose another lead type in the lead type drop-down menu. So the second lead that we're going to stack is out of state. Now that means the seller doesn't just own a property that isn't his primary residence, but where he lives is in another state. Now, as you can see, that dropped our list from 72,000 down to just under 18,000. Now, the idea behind out of state is it's increasingly more difficult to manage and maintain a property long distance. Trust me, I know all about that too well. The third filter is a big one, and that's vacant. Now, vacant really adds a layer of distress because owning a property, especially out of state, that is vacant means it's not making any rental income. It's costing that property owner to maintain it, insure it, pay the property taxes, and so on. If it's a rental property, the pain is the highest for a landlord when it's vacant because it's not making any money. This is usually when the motivation to sell is the highest. And as you can see, when I add vacant to our stacked list, it dropped us all the way down to 744 properties. Now we're getting into some high intent leads. And remember, our goal as wholesalers is to contract properties at a discount, so we need to make sure there is equity in the properties. So the fourth filter we're going to add is high equity. Now, Propwire defines high equity as a property where the seller has over 60% in equity. So for example, if a property has a value of $100,000, the owner would only have debt or a loan on the property at $40,000 or less, giving him at least $60,000 in equity. Now, high equity is one of the most important filters to stack. As you can see, this brought our list down to 598 properties. Now, you could stop here and this would be a pretty good list, but let's get that list down even more by adding one more filter, and that's a filter called tired landlord. What is a tired landlord? Propwire simply defines a tired landlord as an absentee owner who has owned the property for 10 years or more. Now, the idea is that after dealing with tenants, toilets, and turnover for a long time, maybe they are burned out and ready to sell. By adding the tired landlord filter, it brought our list down to 126. So now we have a list of 126 properties that are vacant with high equity where the owner lives out of state and has owned them for at least 10 years. That list, albeit small, is the gold mine. In fact, my student Cody uses this exact stacked list in his core markets. I recently did an interview with him where, using this list, he made a $20,000 wholesale profit. He's a great guy, and that interview is packed with nuggets. I'll put the link to watch it in the description below, and you can watch that later. So as you can see, creating this stacked jackpot list is fast and easy, and don't forget, free. So what do you do next? Well, now it's time to contact these sellers and find out if they want to sell at a discount. But before we do that, first, let me show you some cool things you can do with this list in Propwire. With each of these properties, if you click on the individual record, you'll get additional valuable insights about each individual property. You can see the property history, you can see mortgage information, you can comp the property using Propwire's robust comping tool, and this is one of my favorite features. You can see how many properties the seller owns. I love this feature because when contacting these sellers, you'll know if they own one property or 1,000 properties. You'll know if they're a mom and pop operator or a serious investor. Okay, so now it's time to contact these sellers. Built right into Propwire is a skip tracing service to get the phone numbers so you don't have to export your list and use any other skip tracing service. You can do it all right in Propwire, making it even more fast and more convenient. All you do is check this box right here to select the entire list of 126 properties. It's only going to cost about $12 to get all the phone numbers. Now, if you're doing more than 1,000 in a month, then you should consider the gold level skip tracing package that Propwire offers, where you get 2,500 skip traces for only $97 per month. And you can learn more about that at propwiregold.com. But if you're just doing small lists of 50 to 150, you can just pay as you go, and it's really affordable. Now, once you have the phone numbers, here's what's cool about the jackpot list. Since it's condensed to only 126 properties, you can do what Cody does and just call these leads yourself. It's not that many, and these are highly qualified leads, so you don't need to hire a cold calling agency if you don't want to. That means for a few $100s, you could be talking to highly motivated sellers, but it does mean you have to pick up the phone and call these sellers. But don't worry, I got you covered. To help you really dial in your cold calling and your ability to communicate well with sellers and overcome objections, build trust, and really how to make good offers, be sure to get my proven direct-to-seller scripts. Now, I've been perfecting these scripts for 20 years, and I'll give them to you for free. Just go to freesellerscripts.com for the free download. Now, if you're excited to implement this list right away in your market, leave a comment and say, Jerry, I'm going to do this jackpot list. Thank you. You're a flipping genius. Now, once you get a seller who's interested in selling their property at a discount, I developed a simple calculator that will tell you exactly how much to offer the seller. Now, what's great about this calculator is you don't need to comp properties or estimate repairs. So next thing you need to do is watch a video where I explain in detail how to use this calculator as well as how to get it for free. Watch that video now, and I'll see you on the next video.